Daniel worked hard every single day. He woke up early, went to work, and came home tired every evening. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't careless about his job. And yet, there was one problem he could never understand. No matter how much money he earned, by the end of every month, his money was gone. 1 month, when his salary arrived, Daniel felt relieved. He finally had money again. So, he bought the headphones he had been wanting. Then he went out for an expensive meal with his friends. He bought coffee on his way home and spent money on little things that didn't seem important at the time. One purchase, then another, and another. A few weeks later, Daniel opened his bank account and froze. Almost everything was gone. He looked at the screen in disbelief, then slowly looked around his small apartment. The expensive headphones were sitting on the table. Shopping bags were lying in the corner, and receipts were scattered everywhere. Daniel put his hand on his forehead. What happened to all my money? For the first time, he realized something important. His problem wasn't only how much he earned. It was that he didn't know where his money was going. That night, Daniel sat at his kitchen table. He took out a notebook and decided to try something very simple. He would write down every single thing he spent money on, every coffee, every meal, every purchase, even the smallest one. The next morning, he bought a coffee and wrote it down. Later that day, he bought lunch and wrote that down too. That evening, Daniel opened his notebook and looked at everything he had spent. He walked past his favorite cafe, stopped for a moment, looked at the menu, and then decided to keep his money. Instead of ordering expensive food, he prepared a simple meal at home. Then he took the money he had saved and placed it into a small savings box. It wasn't a lot, but for the first time, Daniel wasn't simply earning money. He was controlling it. Days became weeks, and weeks became months. Every night, Daniel continued writing down his expenses. Slowly, his unnecessary spending began to disappear. He stopped buying things just because he wanted them at that moment. Daniel also realized something else. Saving money was important, but increasing his value was important too. Instead of spending his evenings shopping, he started learning a new skill. Night after night, he studied, he practiced, he made mistakes, and tried again. Sometimes he was tired. Sometimes he wanted to give up, but he kept going. Eventually, his hard work opened a new opportunity. Daniel earned more, but this time, something was different. He didn't immediately spend the extra money. He saved some, used some for his needs, and invested time in improving himself. Months later, Daniel opened his savings box. He looked at what he had managed to save and smiled. It wasn't millions. It wasn't a fortune. You don't always need to earn more money first. Sometimes, you need to understand the money you already have, because small expenses, small habits, and small decisions can quietly shape your entire financial life. One small habit changed Daniel's life, not because writing down his expenses magically made him rich, but because it made him aware. So if you ever feel like your money disappears too quickly, stop, take a notebook, and start paying attention. Write it down and ask yourself one simple question. Where is my money really going? Because sometimes a better financial life doesn't begin with a bigger paycheck. It begins with one small habit.